Cascade Collective TV, the Lunar Tournament. Once again with me is Ryan Meristem.
Hello, hello.
And we're still among the Swiss rounds, table 1 this time. And on our left we have Robert Brown, and on our right we have Kyle James.
These guys are just great players. I just have to say, both of these guys are just tremendous players. Kyle is so good at this game.
And they're just fine gentlemen to talk to as well.
Also fine gentlemen, yes indeed. Although I'm still kind of salty at Robert, but we can get to that later.
So on the ID side, we have Andromeda on the right and Robert on the left running HB Cerebral Imaging. I hate playing against HB Cerebral Imaging.
You and everybody else. I think, it's if you have to look at people that you hate playing against Andromeda is also reasonably frustrating. Did he just toss out his
first 4 clicks?
Classic Kyle, just really laying it all out there on the table.
So I made it rain. Looks like he sure gambled, Desperado, and Data Sucker.
Good night. Kyle James, what a playmaker already with his credit card Andromeda out there too.
I'm going to do that from now on. Just throw my cards in the air and there they go. Oh, and access with the dice. Season Eli. Click 2, checks out R&D.
Gotta say, probably a little bit dangerous to do this with just a Data Sucker against HB. You might hit a Roto. That's gonna be, you're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah, it is tough against Cerebral because you want them to res stuff and you want to keep the pressure on, because once they get a ton of money, you totally have to change gears.
This is true. So we've got Dirty Laundry, yeah?
Yeah, and it installs the Plascrete, so he knows that HP is going to be trying to scorch him.
Absolutely. Any good Cerebral Imaging player is going to just get money and look for that scorch.
And speaking of money,
there we go. Click 1, restructure. Click 2.
And do not be confused by the Game of Thrones playmat on the left and the Game of Thrones counters on the right. We are playing Netrunner here.
Mixing and matching whatever you want. That is these guys. Well, these guys are both also excellent Game of Thrones players as well. Both of them are multi-dimensional.
Yeah, I dabble in it every now and then and get my ass kicked.
That's a complicated game, that Game of Thrones. So it looks like, what's that? Another HQ run?
It is. Oh, you got to roll those dice. Just pick a card, Kyle. Just pick a card. Seize archive memories.
Oh, no surprise there, of course.
I was telling John Mindersea, he rolls dice when he picks cards too. I was like, the best way, a really good way besides rolling dice to randomly pick a card is to just randomly pick a card.
Only the true randomness of the dice will really tell.
I like to stare in my opponent's eyes as I slowly select a card.
Robert is known for his deep stares on the card picking.
So runner getting set up on the right, and Robert blue level clearance, so gaining money, drawing cards, doing what Cerebral Imaging does.
That's, really, once you get the econ engine rolling, you just want to keep drawing the cards and reduce your chance of having an agenda accessed in HQ. You want to dilute that so much so that you completely dissuade the runner from running HQ at all.
And he is running, Robert does run Scorches in his deck, so he definitely wants to build up enough money so he can blow your house up.
Goodness gracious. Got that fairy play there, and so you've got the 2 deep ice here on the centrals. Your Andy, you got to hit him early. So what do you think Kyle's gonna try and do here, early game against CI?
He's fair. They're both in fairly good positions money-wise. He wants to start making Robert res some of that just to get some of that money down. I believe Kyle, he wants to get his Katie Jones out as well, just so he can start banking money.
Mm-hmm. Definitely going to be a good strat early to get that Katie out, especially against CI. You're just going to see them drawing cards and getting money so that they can burn your house down.
And it almost feels when you play against Cerebral Imaging like you're playing against Wayland, is you have to out-money him and stay on top of that stuff. But
Absolutely.
Cerebral makes so much freaking money. That's ridiculous.
It's true. It is just obscene. Although, you know, a good setup early for Kyle being able to get a bunch of Data Sucker tokens out and that Desperado out early has definitely got his econ engine going hard.
So Robert's drawn on the corp side and installs over HQ.
It looks like 3 deep on HQ and 2 on R&D.
So Kyle draws, installs an R&D interface. Classic Andromeda so far.
So Kyle put that R&D interface out, and it doesn't look like he's making any runs. Are you telegraphing too much if you install your R&D interface before you're able to hit R&D?
He's just getting set up while he can, because he knows, you know, if you're running in Cerebral and you don't have enough credits, that's when they're going to scorch you.
You gotta make all your accesses count there, is what I'm hearing.
So they can't C-source you if you don't run.
There you go. Great point, as always. You're going to want multi-access in any CI runs there, so yeah, it sounds reasonable to get set up early.
He draws for click 1. He's just building up his board state on each side. Draws for click 2.
It's like the Cold War over here. It's some sort of nuclear arms race.
Money Wars. So he draws 3 times, then takes a credit. Discards a signed Data Sucker and a Desperado.
This guy and he's got 2 signed Data Suckers now, you know. Kyle is pretty baller in the Netrunner promo stuff. He's going to be able to retire on that one day.
Wisely discards John Mazzanore.
Absolutely. There's just not a whole lot of place, you know, in a standard Andy where you're running all the time, John's great, but here in CI, you know, you don't know what you're going up against. It's just a liability.
And Bob Brown just making money on the left. 3 ice deep on each server, 3 ice deep covering Cersei Lannister's face on R&D.
That's too bad. That's a beautiful playmat. Are we looking at credits on Robert's side there? It looks like he's got, goodness, what is that?
23, it looks like.
23 credits. Well, that's a significant build-up here.
And Kyle looks like he's got 8, 10, 11, 14. So not as many.
Not. You need to watch out. You gotta have, watch out for that 8. 8 is, of course, the magic number for getting
installs
scores.
passports. So Central only code breaker.
Great. I mean, a really convenient thing here. The Central's only breakers are great against CI, obviously, because they never play remotes. They're just going to score out of hand the whole time.
And you see passports splash into criminal decks a lot more because ever since Lotusfield popped on the scene, because you can't Yogg it, so you need something else to get into those Centrals when Yogg is shut down.
Totally, absolutely, especially with that Andy Sucker build. You know, we knew that Lotusfield was going to kind of change the meta a little bit as far as that went, and that's the response we get.
Robert Blue Levels gained some more money.
Just stacking that money, man. Just spending clicks and
so click credits. 1's going to drop the blind siphon. Knows he can get in. He's got breakers for each.
I think this is a really good play. You know, once you got, I mean, you're talking about setting up board state. This is a really good setup for Kyle. Robert had to kind of know that that was coming on some level.
So Rez is Ichi 2.0. Drops 8 credits right there. He does have the ferry out, which I imagine he'll use because you don't want to double click because then you're going to have 2 tags on your hands.
Absolutely. That ferry play, the ferry is just so strong, you know, even though, I mean, it's balanced by the trashing, but yeah, so good.
So uses a Baratheon counter. Does not res, and core player's thinking, checking out passports.
You gotta really think and try and count your cash here to make it taxing enough for the runner, but also, yeah.
He gets the siphon off, which
wow.
Clear tags wisely.
There we go. So Robert definitely had to kind of check, you probably got to look at your card hand, you got to look at how many credits you got, and what you're going to do.
Install security testing.
Also great just supplement to the econ engine here. Archive's completely unprotected, so that's going to give him, 3 credits and a data sucker, so it might as well be 4 credits each turn there.
Let's play his archive memories for a restructure. And then plays said restructure.
You can't let him get away with siphoning you without getting a little punishment back.
And does cover up archives so that he can't security test, but he security tests anyway.
Just, again, talking about looking at which servers are weak and where you can get in and, what resources you can get out of that. You gotta just kind of hammer it until they protect it more.
So in this edition of Money Wars, Robert with 19 credits on the left, Kyle with 21 on the right.
Oh, reverse Scorch.
And Special Order is probably looking for a Sentry Breaker.
Be interested to see what he picks in here. He's got enough money to run a Fem, but no, he's going to do the Mimic. Of course, with all those Data Sucker tokens, it's completely reasonable to just run Mimic as your Sentry Breaker. So Kyle, what do you think Kyle's plays here are? I mean, you're facing this CI, you need some multi-access, you're looking at this board state, you've only got 1 piece of res dice, and Robert's still got a bunch of money. What do you think the play is here?
Kyle's up on money. I imagine now he'll start checking things out, trying to score some stuff and make Robert res some of that ice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh look, there's my feet walking by.
Classic Joe.
Classic feet. Classic feet.
So he did the Special Order. Oh, I guess he just put it into his hand. He didn't actually play it out.
So security test archives, make some money. There's minion games, tokens clinking around. Looks like House Baratheon is about to take over that data sucker.
There we go.
Gets
that
that.
Mimic out. Yeah, this is I gotta feel like you gotta be reasonably confident, although hitting R&D is definitely probably gonna be the best play here, but because going for HQ just with no multi-access at this point, it's just silly. It's such a crapshoot. I mean, there's probably 10 or 15 cards in hand.
You get to a point though where your agenda density is higher in HQ than it will be in R&D. About halfway through, you'll have more you'll have better odds just single accessing HQ. If you can get a legwork in there, that'd be great. Oh, drops another siphon.
Again, since he's got his board set up like we were talked about earlier, kind of setting up that board state for him, he's got double Plascrete out. I didn't even notice that, but yeah, you definitely just plow through and try and keep Robert as poor as you possibly can.
Whereas this Victor 2.0.
So again, we've got the passport out there to get through Victor. Spending some data sucker tokens, it looks like. And trying to figure out how to most efficiently spend his money. Robert losing 5 and Kyle gaining 10.
I imagine he'll clear tags again.
It seems to be the safe play.
And he does.
Even with the double Plascrete out, you definitely don't want to risk the triple Scorch.
So it's checking out R&D, and no res all the way down. Does not get anything.
2 cards. That's it's trusting a lot of the R&D there to not res anything.
It's like that siphon never even happened. Restructures.
Just so frustrating sometimes to play against that CI, but Kyle does a really good job of sort of maintaining his composure in all the games that he played against him.
Plays Reclamation Order for 3 restructures. That's not what you want to see.
Oh, I just can't help but continuing to restate how silly this deck is, and just how rich it is. I mean, how much money you can make with CI.
Stacks on stacks on stacks.
Absolutely, more than even the Wayland game that we saw played earlier. This is ludicrous.
So he continues to security test archives and checks out R&D. Let's just see some ice, looks like.
Mm-hmm. So at this point, he's hit R&D a couple of times. Are you thinking that the agendas are going to be in HQ at this point?
And triple restructure gains
Good.
15 credits on his turn.
Baller. You gotta start, maybe Bob Baller is the new Robert Brown nickname.
Runs into victory on archives. So finally reses it, not sure why I didn't res it earlier.
Just wanted to make sure he was left with at least $30.
What's that? 5, 10, 15, $23 now. Double clicks.
Hey, it's almost static. Oh, fuck.
Nope, and inadvertently shows him his face down archives, even though he had a security testing.
Now Kyle knows that there is that wall of static discarded in there.
It's still the same old thing. So probably looking to legwork in HQ now.
Mm-hmm.
Does have reclamations orders. Does he take back his 3 restructures?
Oh, there's a big surprise actually. Making more money.
And plays a restructure. I'll just throw my cards all up in there right now, but like, I give up.
Looking through the heap there. See what we got. What do you think Robert is looking to see if Kyle's got in there? Just the events?
Yeah, trying to see what he can same old thing.
So it's probably a wise play there. Be on the lookout.
Another Ichi 2. So uses a couple Baratheons to bring it down in mimic range, and sees an Eli. So interesting. He must feel that he's got a lot of agendas in R&D. He's got to have I mean, you can see his hand over there, that massive stack.
Mm-hmm.
So he must feel that he doesn't have all his agendas in hand yet, and whiffs on R&D again.
Goodness, that's got to be frustrating. Absolutely. Well, especially because he just spent what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 data sucker tokens and got 1 back. You're drawing back up for Kyle. Oh, reconsider.
Discarding.
Nope. This is the discard. Okay.
Fairy and security testing.
Don't need that anymore. We've got our breaker suite set up.
And more money for cerebral imaging. Cerebral image is going to cerebral image. That's what they do.
What a... Wow. And
he takes back reclamation order.
Kyle's looking to make sure, because on reclamation order it specifically says you cannot take back reclamation order. However, archived memories does not say that you can't take back reclamation order. There it goes.
Legworks checks out HQ. Now we got some action going on. So you got to think that agenda density is probably high right now.
Even so, seeing 3 cards out of that stack. Goodness.
Oh, Rez is a cute little wall aesthetic.
Aww.
More of an annoyance than anything right now.
Anything that'll tax just a little bit is probably better than nothing. So here we go. Robert's got to have, what, 15, 20 cards in his hand?
Let's see. I'll see if I can hear how many.
Kyle, how can you even roll a dice for that?
Well, he's like... He's got 18 in hand.
Kyle's like, okay, I'm gonna get enough. Let's see, that should be 3.
Oh my god, it's like he's playing Yahtzee right now.
Yeah, okay. Nope, he's got 46 in there. So give me the 11, 15, give me the 16th card.
He sees... oh, it's off screen. My God.
This is
You trust your gut. Trust your gut. Oh, he gets priority Rick. That's what you want to see.
Hey, all right, okay. There's one. One more card. Looks like I will take the 13th card, please. And what's it gonna be?
Hold on, he's got to count out the shipment from Sansan.
Oh, alrighty.
Interesting. He got all cards from like the same end. If you didn't notice, they were toward the back end of the massive stack of cards.
I did not. It must be part of Kyle's brilliant plan to beat cerebral imaging. So finally, some points on the board there. That's a little bit of a relief after, what have we been watching this game for about 2.5 hours now?
Feels like it. Oh, and he shuts down an Ichi.
Great play. Really good play. Probably had that just chilling in his hand, waiting to get into HQ and tax a little bit more.
Classic criminal. Classic criminal.
Classic criminal play there.
And Cerebral's just making more money.
Ugh. I'm so sick of it.
He's gonna reclamation order for take his restructures back again.
Wow, it's like you can see into the future, Joe.
God. That's obnoxious.
This is the money game. It's all for CI.
Kyle's a little low on money right now. Doesn't want to run too much. And finally gets his Kitty Jones.
There you go. Better late than never.
And actually, late is not that good for Kitty Jones.
If you're playing against CI, you got 3 on the board. Maybe you can just, I mean, it's better than clicking for credits. Am I wrong? Or maybe I am wrong. Joe, am I wrong about that? Is it better or worse than clicking for credits to play the Katie?
Katie? Oh, it's always better to play Katie, but I mean, it's definitely a long game card. Getting it this late isn't the best. Kyle would have loved to have seen that Katie Jones early.
Mm-hmm.
And Robert's using more restructures.
It's pretty surprising.
Puts money on Miss Jones. So it looks like it's at 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 33 credits right now.
Good night.
And there is a 4th feet of ice over HQ now. Installs another data sucker, another signed data sucker.
This guy, I'll tell you what.
And we got some Daft Punk blue level clearance going on. A subliminal, that's a surprise. And a restructure. So money, money, money.
Now you figure, because now we've seen a subliminal and a hedge fund and another blue level, maybe are you thinking the agenda density is stacking up a little bit more in HQ? Just looking at R&D, it looks a little light compared to HQ, obviously.
I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be surprised if he has all his agendas in HQ right now.
It's looking like he also put extra ice on the centrals there, so just kind of preparing for that imminent Andy attack.
And Cal just building up money to probably wants the legwork in HQ again.
So with the double data sucker out now, and the security testing staying on archives,
We have a double biotic for an efficiency committee, so Robert Brown putting some points up on the board. So that definitely enables his shipment from Sansan so he can score more agendas at a hand.
The efficiency committee in CI is comparable to the Astro script in NBN.
So take some money off of Katie. Kyle's gonna make a play here.
Is the play at HQ or is it at R&D, Joe?
That's a good question. Nope, looks like he's gonna R&D. I would think and check R&D and then HQ. I would definitely want to drop a legwork right now.
So he knows the outer piece of ice is going to be the Victor 2, is that right? Or the Ichi 2?
That's Ichi 2.
Okay, so he knows that's the outside piece there. It looks like he just dropped it and didn't go and check.
So I get Subliminal back and uses it. He'll probably use that efficiency committee now.
You gotta know something's coming if they take Katie, telegraph that R&D interface again, and they're just setting up. Like now, I'm making my run next turn. You know, you've got 3 clicks.
So installs, advances, and then uses all the efficiency committee counters, and is probably going to do a double shipment. And scores a priority wreck, I imagine. And gets that Ichi over R&D as his priority wreck target. Not what you want to see.
Saving that 8 credits, definitely going to be good for Robert, especially as we sort of near the end game here. He just needs one more combo, but he's already used his reclamation orders on his restructures.
But he probably has one more biotic in hand, so if he's got a 3-2, then that could be game. So it looks like first click is going to same old siphon.
Let's see what we got on the outside. I'm really considering, it looks like he's kind of trying to count up here and see what Kyle's got for credits and what he's got for data sucker tokens as well.
Yeah, you're gonna get in. No res.
Is it worth it? I think he said no res.
So breaks through everything.
And then
Doing some more math here. Netrunner math on the fly.
Netrunner's about mathin'.
And this is the truth.
And successful siphon. So he still has 2 credits left. Or 2 clicks left, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna full attack.
Knowing that 5 points are on the board, that Robert's got enough to
Looks like
probably score out the biotic. Do you think he's just going to go for broke here and try and get the R&D?
I think he's going to go for a legwork.
Now, he's already legworked once, so he could just burn a second, same old thing. Yep, there we go.
And brings out, reses another victor. So this is going to be expensive to get in there.
I think that was a really smart play to kind of just wait and see how things were going to go, and then try and bump him out as much as he could.
So doing some mathin'.
Trying to put all of these together and say, okay, doesn't really matter what order at this point. Let me see if I can get through it.
Kyle needs to grab all 4 of those and stick them directly into his archives.
The corporation trashes all ice that are rezzed. It's a new, very strong card.
Oh, so he bounces off the victor.
Mmm.
So it looks like he does not have the win in hand. He's drawn, and then he hedge funds.
Mmm. That's got to be a little bit of a sigh of relief, at least for Kyle, to say, you know, that he doesn't have what he needs right now to do it. Kind of gives him another turn, at least, to try and squeak out the rest of the win.
So dirty laundries into archives. Oh, his dirty laundries into R&D, so.
So it looks like he's going to have enough to get through.
Sees an NAPD.
Oh, gosh, that hurts.
And there's the biotic, 3 cards down.
Oh, goodness.
That's what will give Robert the win.
He's got to be a little bit worried about that. No, just like, this is how much time I've got, basically.
And so you ran flip click in the first UI.
So last click for Kyle. So you know that you've got your death sentence waiting 3 cards down. What are you going to do?
Does he get scorched now? Is Robert going to score out here? That's a good question. Reclamation's order for more money. Oh, for his biotics. Now the biotics are in hand. He probably has the money to double biotic right now, actually. Oh,
absolutely. No? What does
he
got there?
Double biotic's not going to do him any good. Reclamation order takes 2 clicks.
Ah.
So covers up HQ, knows that the win will be next turn.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of a demoralizing position to be in here. I feel like this is kind of the game that CI plays. You know they've got money, they can res whatever they need to. You are the lowly runner, you will never be as powerful as I am.
So goes in to check R&D since doesn't have the money to get an HQ. Looks like.
No. So it's a trace 3.
Was that a security testing or was that an R&D?
He's running an R&D.
Okay. I think he's just taking. Looks like he's just taking damage.
Yep. Sees an NAPD. Hey, this could be game here. Sees the biotic and sees a C-source.
Ooh.
And Kyle knows it's over. Yep. Shows the biotic, shows the Vitruvius, and that's game.
There you go.
Cerebral imaging, being annoying.
Goodness gracious, what a cash cow.
Alrighty, well, it's on to the next matchup. But yeah, good games by both players. Now switching sides here, Robert Brown is running with Noise, and Kyle James running, or corping with Near Earth Hub. Good old Near Earth Hub.
Near Earth Hub, oh man, had just come out when this tournament, right before this tournament, right? This was the first tournament for the
This
Lunar
was
cycle, is that correct?
2 data packs are out by now.
That's right, 2 data packs are out, so we saw a lot of Near Earth Hub.
And he
Yeah, such a strong
installs
identity.
and credits. And Noise. Noise definitely does a good job of disrupting Near Earth Hub with imps. Imps works wonders.
So strong against Near Earth Hub. I feel like, and I've said this a bunch, on our Facebook group, but I feel like Imp is going to be one of the best responses to Near Earth Hub and replicating perfection.
Speak of the devil, installs Imp, so mills the top card. And sees a Jackson. And imps that Jackson.
Yep, gonna. That's, I mean, a great play right off the bat. Jackson's the only thing that's really gonna save you against Noise. But man,
Runs R&D to check out a pop-up.
Consolation prize for Kyle. Get a credit. That's nice.
And I did not see what he saw in R&D though.
Yeah, I missed
So
that.
draws for click 1. Hedge funds.
Making some money, always a good thing here, but you're going to kind of want to start maybe even getting some ice. There you go. Yeah, putting some ice over R&D, and putting some even over
First click
archives.
installs Cash, which is an amazing card.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Virus
gives you a
and
mill
money.
and much needed econ for Noise.
So good. The Noise shop with the ASOPs right now is just so good.
So checks out. I got a Sansan, got a Jackson. That's like milling gold right there. And
He's got 2 Jacksons in archives already.
then he gets Wildside, so gets his draw engine going. So getting set up in a good spot right now for Noise. Noise is gonna noise and
really great
mill your
position.
stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah, that is this is already a tough situation, but Kyle using the Near Earth Hub, the identity thing there, and taking his free
Installs it
card.
naked. So I gotta be worried that it's just gonna get imped.
Yeah, either I'm gonna say it might be a Jackson to try and put that stuff right back in there. It seems like it's got to be the only other thing that you'd want to put out naked, especially with an imp on the board, threatening any of your other econ marked to
There's a
counter.
pad campaign, which immediately gets imped.
And GNK.
Good night. I gotta question that play, but Kyle is a great player, and I shouldn't question anything that he does. He is the master.
Covers up archives
Draw install hit.
and draws and gets a hedge fund.
Wild side.
So Robert's spending some time at the club, drawing 2 cards with Wildside.
I didn't understand Wildside for a long time, but thematically now, I get it. You go down to the wild side, you have a bunch of crazy experiences, you get a couple cards out of it, but it takes up some of your time.
Sahasrara. So gets 2 credits to just continue milling and installing programs.
And again, keeping that econ engine going, you got Cash, you got Sahasrara, this is, Noise has got a good setup so far.
So he's got a discard here. Discards
Actually,
Cash and installs Jin.
God, man, just really threatening the virus push and getting that Sahasrara out to pretty much let everything he installs now be mostly free. You know, we weren't seeing really a lot of noise before this tournament, and I feel like Robert's showing with noise was really, it caught a lot of people off guard. I don't think really people were...
Gets his econ engine going, so it does get the pawn shop now. Yeah, once cash dropped, you saw a huge resurgence in noise. And installs another imp and does some more milling. So res the Sansan. Probably looks to score an Astro. Ooh, scores a breaking news and kills off Ace-Ups. So...
Great. That was actually a really good play. I was thinking about it was going to be the Astro, but definitely worth it to kind of slow down the econ a little bit more.
Robert to have money.
Well, that's probably a good way to do it. Econ denial is such a good way of keeping your opponent sort of off balance.
Installs Corroder. Oh, does not install Corroder.
Take it back? Not sure how that happened.
He wants Knight instead. There we go.
Ah, okay.
As you run there and wants to imp is that Sansan.
Just really controlling the game, controlling what Near Earth Hub
installs over
is
that
doing.
Knight and takes some money.
You'll notice Robert put the pop-up window deck box down on the bottom there just to taunt Kyle, to know that the eye was watching him. The eye of noise is renamed.
Speaking of pop-up window, Parasite's pop-up window, so gets rid of an annoying piece of ice and gets a mill.
Ouch.
Checks out R&D for click 2. Sees Eli and checks out archives. See what he's got.
Another pop-up to just tax it a little bit.
And Robert does not have money, so he could not get in.
No.
Oh, wow. The rare event when the pop-up window keeps him out.
Oh, goddamn, that's funny and annoying at the same time.
So we've been talking a little bit about just, you know, in the group about looking for scoring windows, and I think, you know, looking at this, right, Noise is got the wild side out. He can't get rid of it at this point, so you know he's down to 3 clicks. This is probably a really good opportunity for Kyle to try and squeeze something out, even if it's a naked Astro just down there without the Sansan.
It's tough sometimes too, because he's already lost 2 Jacksons. Noise could just completely disrupt his deck and mill the heck out of him.
Absolutely. Definitely got to be worried about that if you are near Earth Hub.
So Parasite's that pop-up.
It's like another
I imagine he'll check out
Parasite.
archives. See what he's got. Sees an NAPD, which he cannot steal. Guard, fast track, marked accounts.
Really lucky that, you know, he managed to get away with just dumping that NAPD in there and nothing else.
And he takes 1 solo credit. Res his pad campaign, so gets some asset econ coming in. And just takes more money.
Definitely good. Yep, absolutely. That's probably the best play here. One thing that I learned against playing against Robert's deck is that, you know, you got to keep your money up and you got to keep your centrals secure.
Cash. God, I love cash.
It is, you know, it rules everything around us, I feel like.
Installs
On the Grimoire play. That's great. Did he just draw the Grimoire off of the top?
I think it might have come with his wild side.
Okay. Robert keeps pulling these cards out of
What is happening? Ah, he ginned for cash right now. That's what just happened.
Ah, there we go. Okay. Okay. The genie pulling out the money. I guess this is the equivalent of wishing for $1 million.
Well,
especially if you are noise.
So he starts up his turn, draws 2.
No, I swept last round.
And installs cash. Opting not to have counters on Sestra
Goodness
and goes for the
gracious.
spinning method.
Classic Robert play there. The spinning method.
I like my tokens. I like to put tokens on everything.
Yeah, it's a tactile, wonderful
Yes,
thing.
and sure gambles, make some money.
You know, Robert was kind of lagging there for a little bit with the money, but it looks like he's kind of getting
That's
back
why
in
cash
here.
is so great, because it still disrupts the corp and makes you money to get you back on track. Would like an
Absolutely.
ace up, so to be able
One of the most
to,
valuable parts.
make some money off those caches.
It's true, you know, looking back at that breaking news play, it was that was a really good foresight, by Kyle to actually turn the tables and disrupt noise a little bit.
My, how the tables have turned. So spinning Sastra again and installs Mimic.
So, just going back to that Aesop's trash, though, I mean, Robert still has Wildside kind of dictating the game for him a little bit, because I know his hand is full. He definitely discarded, I saw that he had discarded a daily cast at some points when he was really broke, and now it's kind of forcing him to install and get his
Installs
rig set up.
Corroder. And Imstead pad campaign.
Probably, good for Kyle to just let him go through and go ahead and imp it. Imp now has 0 counters without the Aesops there.
Installs
Could be
over
pretty
archives,
safe.
installs over R&D.
Again, great play going back to that idea of, icing the centrals up hard, making sure that is secure so as to
It's
keep
tough to play
noise
against
out.
noise because you want to score out fast because noise can be a little slow getting set up and be able to get in. But noise is gonna noise, and he just disrupts your game so much sometimes just with the mills he gets.
Absolutely, and being really vulnerable, especially to the Parasite Data Sucker combo, that's definitely a hard thing to deal with in Anarch.
And
in
Nearth
general.
Hub, they don't run a lot of ice, and it's not the most high strength of ice either, so they're very susceptible to Parasite. And Deja Vu's for Parasite and Cash.
So there you go, looking at that, especially since he has the Data
And
Sucker
gets
out already.
another
And there's
Aesops.
the
Gets promo
Aesops.
Aesops this time.
Such a beautiful card, by the way, also. We were looking at that online and just looking at kind of the intricacies in that piece of art. Gabriel Santiago's arm is in there, and so is Sacrificial Construct, if you're looking closely.
Botix out. A Project Beal, so Kyle wanting to score points as soon as possible.
Absolutely. The Beal is a great play. You want the Astro always, but if you got a naked Beal, then sometimes you got a naked Beal.
So he Aesop's Wildside.
So there we go. Just like I was saying earlier, I felt like that Wildside was kind of dictating for Robert the draw power, and he kind of wants to slow it down. I mean, his rig looks great the way that it is. There's really not a whole lot you're going to want except maybe some more econ, and you can probably get your Deja
It's
Vu
not of a
going
code
for that.
gatebreaker.
This is true. Definitely missing the Yogg, but you don't need a Yogg when you got
It's a Parasite
Parasites.
on Eli. And runs the Archives for click 2. So Quandary keeping him out. Speaking of code gatebreaker.
Oh, speaking of code gatebreakers, I will eat my words right now. The 1 cost 0 strength keeping him out right after he parasited Eli too. That's got to kind of be a bummer for him.
So runs R&D for click 3. Speak of the devil.
Oh my goodness! Somebody send me a hat, and I will boil it and make a soup, and I will eat the whole bowl
And
of hat
runs
soup.
HQ. I don't even know what that means. Runs HQ for click 4 and steals a Beal. Snipes it.
Oh God!
Oh.
Oh. Okay, I feel somewhat vindicated, so never mind the extra hat.
I don't know if getting rid of Wildside was the right play for Robert. And maybe he's worried that Kyle's going to get too far ahead. He's got 3 points on the board, but you got to see all those cards and archives and feel pretty good about your noisiness so far.
That's I don't know. I feel what do you feel like he could have gained by continuing to wild side?
Well, he'll get what he needs. I mean, now he's going to have to draw for a code gate breaker like a chump.
Or it looks like he's
counting
searching
out
through
memory.
the heap.
He's counting up his parasites, I think. Oh, no, he Jin
Okay.
for a parasite.
There we go.
Wants to kill that Quandary and run in and kill that Eli, it looks like.
I think that's a brilliant idea. Hit R&D a couple of times.
So counting out memory. He's got to drop something.
You know that you can't spend the Sahasrara credits and trash it.
He gets rid of one of the data suckers. So mills a card, kills Quandary. He will run R&D and kill that Eli.
Interesting play getting rid of the data sucker, but I guess we're looking
Installs
at
medium
econ
first,
here.
so I'm going to do some digging. So now I can see I felt he got rid of that wild side because he felt he had everything he needed to continually put pressure on. And gets another Beal.
That is, man, it's gotta feel good. You know, this noise, I just feel like it's one of the few runners that can really disrupt the corp game, and that's one of the strongest, that's one of the strongest things that you can do is disrupt the pacing that the corp typically sets.
Noise is gonna noise. So checking face down the archives, there's a lot of shit there. The corp decking pretty thin. He could possibly just go for the mill out too.
Super satisfying if you can hit the mill out, by the way. For those of you who have never experienced getting to mill the corp to death, man, just probably more satisfying than scorching the
So
runner.
NAPD still in there. Kyle has not seen a Jackson yet.
Well, he did see two, but unfortunately they've been in the archives.
So you gotta feel good about your odds in archives right now. So Aesop's out, the data sucker. Click one's gonna Jin. Imagine doesn't have any more parasites. Brings out Crypsis.
Pretty strong play, especially because it's going to mill. You play it on the table and it automatically gets a counter that's going to save you a click to get through the Quandary there. It's, man, Crypsis. Doing some work in noise.
Click 2 installs Crypsis. So he uses 2 credits off Sahasrara and cost him 3. Gets the counter from Grimoire, like you said.
And got to make that.
Then he's gonna
that
cash for
archives
click
run.
3.
What do you think?
He's going for
Gotta
the
be the
archives.
archives. You got to
Checking
do
out
it.
archives. No res. Oh, there's
You know there's
Astro.
at least 2 points.
Astro. The
Oh,
agendas keep coming. All
man.
3 Astros. NAPD.
Oh,
Well, the first turn was
that is
That's
just
game.
brutal.
And noise is gonna
Truly.
noise.
Truly brutal.
Well,
Wow.
that was
really
it, folks.
commanding.
Thank you for watching, and like as always, let us know what you think. And we're in darkness again. God damn it, we gotta fix that. Goodbye, everyone.